Hello, class, and welcome to the History of Christianity. This is History of Christianity 1, and it's going to be a study of the first 15 centuries of the Church of Christ. So the first 15 centuries of men of God, women of God, movements of God, movements against God, so various heresies will be examined as well. And I believe this class will be beneficial for you. I pray that it will benefit you on an academic level. And of course, that's one of the goals. This is a academic course. This is a course that is meant to challenge you in your mind. But then also, I pray that this course will be a blessing to you spiritually. The study of church history is very important. We believe that God is working now in the lives of his people. But we also believe God has been working in the lives of his people. That God has worked through various men and women and through various movements in the last 2,000 years. So as we look at the first half of church history, we pray that we will be enabled to see better how God has used various people to do his will, and maybe then we can learn from that. And then also, as God's people interact with heretical movements, how did they do that? Are there things we can learn from? Are there things we can apply? Are there lessons that we can learn to stay away from, maybe? Things they did that were wrong, that we should avoid. So we're going to go all the way up to the Protestant Reformation, not dealing with that specifically, but go up to that. Now, as far as the assignments of the course, there will be discussions. Your initial thread is due Thursday night of each week, and the replies are due Sunday night by 11:59 p.m. The initial thread needs to be 400 to 500 words. Okay, so if you submit something that's 300 words, know that that's going to be a significant portion of your grade. A significant portion of your grade you're not going to receive. So make sure it does meet the minimum word count, and you need to demonstrate in that content that you have actually read the course material. It's easy to get 400 or 500 words, but it's not so easy to do that and demonstrate that you actually did the course reading. So if I read your post and there's no evidence that you read the course material, that's going to affect your grade. Also, you need to reply to at least 2 classmates, 1 to 200 words. Now, 100 words that's not a lot. So don't fill up your word count with, well, I really liked what you had to say here. You said, and then quote the student. Don't write, well, I really loved everything about your post. This was wonderful. I benefited greatly from reading it. If you say that, you've almost used up your allotted space. So really jump right into the meat of the issue. Be very concise, be very intentional about what you write so that you're actually furthering the conversation. And also remember this. In the initial thread, you need to have at least 3 academic citations. You can use parenthetical citations, or you can use footnotes if you desire, but you need to cite your sources, so 3 academic sources. And for each reply, at least 1 academic source needs to be cited. You're going to do a research paper in this class. You're going to pick an approved topic. You're going to have to actually argue for something. So you can't just write a paper about Tertullian. You've got to argue something related to his life. You can't just write about persecution in the early church. You have to have an actual analytical thesis statement. And now that assignment will be done over a course of various submissions. So you're going to pick a topic, then you're going to develop a thesis statement, and so on. But that will be about 3,000 to 3,500 words. And you're going to have 4 quizzes as well. The quizzes over the reading. Open book. So when you read the material, I would encourage you to take notes. Take notes, write down the page numbers of the pertinent information so that you can find it easily as you're taking the quiz. Now also I would say this, especially for the research paper, you must avoid at all costs plagiarism. Almost every time I teach a class, I get a student's paper, and all these papers are submitted through Turnitin, and I'll see that the Turnitin percentage report it's like 50, 60% or 40%. Now, you're always going to have some percentage, but normally it's going to be between 5 and 10%. And when I go and look at that, I see that you've actually cited that source. And so that wouldn't be plagiarism. But students, a couple students, every time I teach a course like this, a couple students will plagiarize. They'll fall behind. They'll want to just get the paper done as fast as possible, and so they'll go on Course Hero or a site like that and just copy it. But that shows up on the Turnitin report. Know that if you do plagiarize, that I will know about it. It will show up. So be very careful not to plagiarize. You cannot steal somebody else's work and submit it as your own. You have to do your own work. I would also encourage you to read the syllabus through carefully. Students always ask me questions, about the late policy. So what happens if I turn the assignment in a day late? Well, the syllabus specifically tells you what will happen if you do that. And or people say, well, when are the replies due? The syllabus will tell you these things. Or if you look through the modules, you'll see these things. So look through the syllabus carefully. And when you do assignments, read the assignment instructions carefully. And if you do that, I think you'll do well in this class. And I think that you'll benefit, again, both academically and spiritually. Because ultimately, when we take this course, when we go through this material, we are going to do what the Apostle Paul admonishes us to do. We're going to do it for the glory of God. We're going to make it our aim in all things to be pleasing to the Lord. That's our goal. Now, if you have any questions, any comments, please reach out to me through email, and I respond to that generally in a fairly quick manner. So reach out to me through email. I can't help you with any of your questions if you don't email me those questions. So any questions or comments, let me know. I'll be praying for you throughout these 8 weeks, and I pray the Lord will be with you, and God bless.